All right, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage. And today we've got, I guess, story time again. We got a little bit excited about AI. We took a road trip. We had a bit of a food disaster that we could talk about.
And we scored big.
We don't know. We might have scored big. We bought some stuff that's a little out of our realm. So we'll talk about all of that. But as usual, it is Monday. We've got a lot of stuff that needs to go out. So what's the first two of those?
We had some good sales this weekend, but we sold a dinosaur. It is a Mattel Jurassic World Park posable, Indoraptor, Park Raptor. I don't know even what that means.
There you go.
He looks like a Godzilla, but like skinny.
Kind of like a really pissed off lizard. That's what he looks like.
We bought him last year at one of these.
We did. And I think we just bought him because he looks so cool. His jaw moves.
Yep,
His
but
head
he
moves.
only sold for $14.99. I said only, but still.
All right, we got some more doorknobs and door plates.
That's my last one.
Yep, we bought a whole box of these, and they did pretty well for us.
I got 4 of them out of it. 4 complete sets, either with the doorknobs or with the pole or
the mechanism. Or...
Yep. So this one sold. It's a Victorian style Japanese I don't even know how to say that word again. Beaded doorknob. It sold for $40.
Yep. So if you're seeing those vintage doorknobs, some of those do really well. We've done okay with them. Even just the round porcelain covered ones, we've done okay.
Just be careful with the ones that are, I don't know what they're made of. They look like they're porcelain on the outside. Mm-hmm. Maybe they are, but they will crack. Like I have one over there that just split in half and I didn't do anything to it.
So if they're old, sometimes they're brittle. All right, so if you guys, most people don't watch, and that's fine. I do a show with Chris from Buck Mountain Barn and Brad from Black Sheep Society, and every now and then Leroy from Blood Sweat Cell on Tuesday called Reseller Therapy.
You get all kinds of people in there because sometimes Chad, Wolfman's Goody comes in.
We average about
Alex
6
comes
people.
In. Amy comes in.
Yeah, it's not a very popular show. We just kind of use it as a
force to work.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think of the word.
Accountability?
Accountability. Yes, that's the word. We use it as an accountability time. So every Tuesday we go on live on Reseller Therapy channel and we just list. So there's not a ton of talking usually. We're listing and we're just chatting back and forth, and it kind of forces us to get stuff listed. Mm-hmm. So it is our productive time. But during that, towards the end of last week, we really kind of got deep into AI.
I'm on there sometimes too, but I was not part of this conversation, so.
Well, she was. She was in the background shaking her head the whole time.
Probably.
She was here. But we've been using ChatGPT to build like custom chats to help us identify things, to help us build out listings. And it got to the point where we've got it pretty much all the way to a complete AI lister, minus one little part, which I'm still working on, but it completely takes our listings from, we just throw all of our stuff into a Google Drive, all of our photos. So we come out and take photos. We share that Google Drive through a script with ChatGPT, and it completely identifies them, does comps, builds the listings, and it does that pretty well. It's not all the way there yet.
Nope, it still has a few bugs.
Yep, I'm still working on it. And then from there, I run another script, which basically will build the eBay listing on eBay, and I'm still tweaking that. But we got really excited about that. So we talked about that a little bit. I shared part of the script for identifying items and comping items with Chris at that point, and we all kind of played around with it. If you want to see what kind of the very beginning level, what that was, watch the end of that episode. I actually share the full prompt. So we did that.
But I do have to say, he did try to use the identification tool this weekend, but everywhere we went, it was
failed.
Such crappy service. Like there was one thing he took a picture of and it was so crappy service. Like I think it was maybe one bar. It like gave us the results 20 minutes later.
Yeah, we were at like 2 garage sales later before the results came in.
Yep.
So AI really let us down in the form of we almost never have great reception at garage sales. We're always either in an area in South Dakota where there's just horrible reception, or we're in a big metal pole barn or something and there's no reception. So in the field is what I was really excited about using part of that AI for.
Yep.
And it just didn't work. Now, once we had already bought it and we got it home, we could use it on the Wi-Fi and everything works great. But real time in the field, not there yet. Maybe we need to look into Starlink or something because the reception was just not great.
Oh yeah, because we couldn't even go get a Verizon hotspot.
No,
because a Verizon hotspot
service
would have been crap too.
Yeah, we were at one bar pretty much all weekend. So it just,
Yep.
so as excited as I was about AI and using it in the field this week at garage sales, it didn't pan out. I only got to use it a couple times, and it was mostly back at the hotel room just to look stuff up later, because at the sales we were without service. So big letdown there.
It was. I don't have it on my phone, so I can't use it because I don't have
The paid
the
version.
paid version of ChatGPT. So I do the work right along with him, though. As he's doing that, I verify.
I have it. Maybe we can even show you. We'll do that because we have all kinds of
We're
time
in a metal
today.
building. Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, that is true. We are in a metal building. So I just have a prompt built out in ChatGPT, and I just go to that prompt, and all it's expecting from me every time I send something to it is just a photograph. So that's all it wants, is just a photograph.
It will not converse other than a photograph.
No. All right, so we'll just grab something to take a picture of. Let's see. I can just take a picture of our good guy doll.
I'll move out of the way so they can see you taking the picture.
We'll let that load real quick. And
I've been
then hit
educated on that too by previous
send.
people about my buddy doll, the good guy doll, and Chucky. Ooh,
Okay.
that was quick.
So it's done and it's sent back. So it knows that this is a good guy Chucky doll from Child's Play. Let's see what else it tells me. It's from Child's Play. Tells me what the box text is. Type, life-size replica doll, approximately 30 inches tall. That is that
Yep.
doll. Potential versions. Which ones are the makers? And then it actually gives me loose or boxed values on the doll. And it gives me kind of a description and a title to use. So it gives me everything I need, and the comps are pretty close to what eBay comps are on that. So it's coming up pretty good. Now I have a new version of this that's better. This is just the initial one we talked about, but that's kind of what it does. It does the comp for you. It gives you a good title, a good description, and it tells you where it sells. And it also tells me if I want to sell it in 90 days, price it in this range.
Yep.
So that's what I was really excited about using while we were there.
Yep.
And we didn't get to. So that kind of sucked, but we got to use it when we got home. So that's fine. All right. Enough about AI. It let us down, but what's the next two things that sold?
AI frustrates me sometimes. The next thing we sold, there's a funny story behind this one too. So
I thought this was so much bigger. It's just a little tiny bottle
this
of
is a
perfume.
1960s Christian Dior Diorama Paris Eau de Toilette half-ounce bottle.
Haven't we sold toilet water before?
We have sold toilet water
I think we
before.
sold like this exact perfume before.
No, I think it was Chanel number 9.
But it had the toilet thing.
There's a
there.
lot of
There's a lot of toilet water.
Eau de Toilette.
So that's, yeah, another toilet water bottle.
But that one I had listed at $174.99 because there are no other ones on there. There's an empty box, but that's it. So I listed it at that $174.99, and some lady came in and she offered me like $100, and I just automatically declined it.
It was a lot of back and forth.
And so we went back and forth a couple times, and I finally settled on $154.99 plus shipping. Right, that came out of a lot that I got that I paid like $15 for on Proxy Bid. But then I get this message from the lady that said, what did it say? Something about
Thanks for playing the game.
Thanks for playing the game and the back and forth. I appreciate it, and I'm excited to get it. I didn't know it was a game. I want my money.
Oh, some people really like to haggle. Some people don't. But she apparently did, and she was going to haggle till she got a good price. And
Yeah,
I think we
well,
both, neither one of them was super happy about the price at the end, but I think that's what a compromise is, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so the next one, I'm not going to go get.
it's in a box. You can't see it anyway.
It took me like 45 minutes to pack this thing when we did pack it.
I'll tell them what it is and then explain kind of why, because typically it wouldn't take that long to pack it. But it's this. Hopefully y'all can see that.
It's a serger sewing machine.
It is a Husqvarna, I don't even know if that's Viking Huskylock sewing machine serger with pedal and accessories. The pedal and the accessories is kind of what made it a pain to ship, because it had an additional box that had
a big tray, plus it had the top piece that holds all the thread, and so it was kind of a pain in the butt to pack, to make sure the weight of the machine didn't break everything else. So it took quite a while to pack, and we've been picking these sergers up pretty regular lately. I mean, we've gotten 3 of them now, and we sold 2 already.
Yep, we've gotten 3. I've sold 2. The other one's over there that I have to test yet. But I kind of like these. But do you remember where we got this one from?
No.
That was part of our $235 buy when we bought the Oculus and the looking glass thing.
Yeah, we crushed it on that buy.
One other thing. I thought we bought 3 things. Oh, the cameras.
We did really good on that buy. We're way in the profit on that buy already.
Yep. So that serger sold for $199.99, and I have to make a comment. They paid $104 in shipping.
Ouch.
They may or may not get some of that back, because I don't think it's going to cost that much.
It is super heavy though. I mean, it's a big box, and it's super heavy. We'll see where it lands.
Okay, that was the second thing on this piece, but I do have to make a comment. So we had somebody buy something this weekend, right? What did they buy? Oh, a candle thing. Remember the candle thing?
Oh, the crystal?
Yes, they bought a crystal candle thing, right? And it was $39.99. It charged them $27 shipping. And she messaged me, can you lower this shipping price by at least $10? And I said, I don't know what actual shipping will be, but I can see. And then she messaged me back saying, did you do this yet? I said, no. But then she canceled it because she didn't pay attention to the shipping.
Yeah, and the bad part was, like, she came back and gave us a reply of, my husband and I are old, and we're on a fixed
Social
income,
Security,
and we're not in great health, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, why in the hell are you buying crystal trinkets then? Like, what's wrong with you? Your priorities are wrong. Definitely cancel this order.
Right. So I did cancel it. I relisted it. I may or may not have sent a reply back.
I don't get it. Like, if you're strapped for money and you're in bad health and you're on a fixed income, stop buying crap on eBay, people. Like, I know that some people have that addiction.
Yep.
But get help. Don't.
We need a 1-800 number for overbuyer.
We do. And sometimes we're overbuyers, and I have to be her help. I'm like, no, don't buy that. Stop buying.
You're my therapist.
So
that is sad.
This is why we have Reseller Therapy Tuesday mornings. So, all right. Yes. So Thursday, the rest of the, like, Wednesday, we didn't do anything. Like,
Monday we packed and shipped and did our video recording. Tuesday I came out and listed some stuff. Corey worked on the video, and you did Reseller Therapy. Wednesday we didn't do a lot of anything. Didn't do. I drafted probably.
Yeah,
but.
we took a pretty easy Wednesday, and then Thursday we just got the car ready and we got everything ready to go to our Scavenger's Journey highway sale.
Did not source on a Thursday.
We didn't.
Is so odd for us. I really wanted to.
We knew we were going to be hitting it hard for the weekend on the highway sale, so we left Thursday alone and we just kind of prepped for the next day. Friday we took off early.
We did. We were out the door by 6:45.
I think so. And we had to stop and grab gas and some drinks, and then we were off to the first sales. Yeah, cash was fun this weekend.
Cash was fun, because I went to go use my original card for our eBay account got hacked, right? So I had to get a new one that I had them overnight to me so that I could have it before we went. And I went to go use it, and they always ask when I get a new card, do you want your PIN number the same? I always say the same answer, yes.
It was not.
It was not. So I went to go get cash out of this machine, and it told me, all it said was this transaction could not be completed. It didn't tell me why. It didn't say anything. So I'm like, I told Corey, I think it's out of money. That happened to us one other time, that it was out of money. So whatever. We went on to the next one, which was a joy as well.
This was a weird one. You go to the ATM machine, you put your card in.
It's not an ATM machine.
You got to go, it gives you a receipt that you got to go give to the cashier at the place, and they give you your money out of the register. It's weird.
Like the machines you put
it's just a kiosk.
It's like the machine you stick your card in to pay at a gas station, at a grocery store. Yeah. That's all it is. And then it prints a receipt, you give it to the person.
It's really weird.
That one told me my PIN was incorrect. Yeah. So I have the app on my phone, so I quickly logged in. Put in my new
So
PIN number.
we got it straightened out, but just getting money was kind of a
project this weekend.
Once we did get going, we actually went to citywide sales in 8 different towns along the highway sale. About 250 miles one way to get out to those 8 towns and do the highway sales.
Yep.
And the sales were pretty solid. I mean, you still go to like 10 sales for every good one, but the ones we did go to that were decent, we bought stuff, they were really decent sales and prices were fair, so we really couldn't complain.
No, it wasn't the very first thing we bought, but Corey paid up. Like, Corey doesn't normally pay up. Corey paid up.
It was very early on, too. It was. I think they had $200 on a set of irons, a set of Ping irons, which I looked up. Comps look great. It looks like they sell in the 400 range. So, and it was a full set of 10 irons, and they were left-handed to boot. So we ended up to boot. So we ended up negotiating a little bit, and we got $150 on those.
Well, he kind of negotiated. He went up. It was 2 like late teen, early 20 girls that were there running it for their mom. They weren't their
clubs.
No, they were their parents. And Corey's like, "Would you take $150 for this?" And she's like, "I guess."
Yeah, they were her mom. She was like, "I don't know what she would take." Yeah, I'll take $150.
But so, because we didn't have a whole lot of cash at that point either.
We had to Venmo already.
I had to Venmo the mama. So, but that's okay. I'm okay with doing Venmo.
So yeah, we spent up right away. We ended up having to get cash again later that day. But the sales went pretty good. And then we made it all the way to the halfway point in Chamberlain that night.
We didn't even, so last year, a little explanation. Last year, we made it to Chamberlain to be able to do garage sales before the end of the night.
Yes.
This year, they added an additional town a little bit farther south on our route. And so we went there.
It took us almost an hour, about 45 minutes out of our way by getting there and getting back out.
Yep.
So it set us back between just the travel time and going to the sales.
Yep, and there was a lot of sales in that
So we didn't actually hit Chamberlain until it was too late. The garage sales were closed.
Yep, but there was a lot of good stuff. We bought a lot of good stuff. Like the one, we bought an entire RO system from some guy for $1.
I forgot. Yeah, that was one of the first sales we went to too. It was one of the early sales. He had all kinds of box stuff, like brand new in box, and big stuff like appliance stuff like that. An RO system, complete with the tank and everything, new in the box. He had $1 on. Yep,
he had a pool filtration system.
Yep.
That he had $10 on. If we'd had,
if we'd had the truck, we'd have bought most of that sale out because he had 2 Ryobi like electric lawnmowers, brand new, looked like they'd never been used. He had $20 a piece on them, or 25. 20 on one, 25 on the other.
But driving the truck that far, ugh.
Yeah, we'd had to buy a lot of stuff to. Well, and now that we're back, we
probably could have.
We probably should have taken the truck. We would have paid for the gas.
But see, hindsight is 2020. But had we taken the truck to start off with, we probably wouldn't have found anything.
No, it's like taking an IKEA bag with you into a church sale. If you take an IKEA bag into a church sale, I think karma punishes you for being optimistic and you don't find anything. But if you go without the bag, you'll need the bag every time. It's one of them things. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep.
All right. What's sold next?
We sold a metal detector. This was one that Corey told me to pick up. We made a deal. So we got this for $5 and we bought this strobe light that I have to list yet for 10, I think, or something like that. So but
we got it all broke down, but this is what it is.
It's a Garrett Ace 250 high performance metal detector. It does work. I turned it on. I put my ring under it and it goes beep, 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 beep. But it sold for $125.99.
All right. And we went back to our roots here and got some outdoor Bose speakers.
I would not buy those again.
No, we got 2 of these and they were in decent shape. It is a set.
But that is a Bose Lifestyle powered speaker system, 2 speakers, white with cables. They do work. Paid up for them, paid $15 for them, and they finally sold for $54.99.
Yep. We tend to have a lot better luck with the Bose speakers if they're the little cube speakers.
Yep.
Those tend to do a lot better for us than the bigger ones.
For some reason, people don't really like the white speakers. They would rather prefer the dark colored speakers. The black speakers.
We don't make it racist.
I wasn't trying to. I was just saying the dark colored speaker. I'm not.
Jeez. Poor Caucasian speakers are just getting the shaft over here. Sorry, little buddy. All right. So we did make it to Chamberlain at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Garage sales were pretty much done, which meant we got to check into the hotel room.
Go sit for a minute.
Go sit for a minute and cool off. And then we went to go eat at the restaurant in the lobby.
So cool off because on Friday, the temperature was 98 degrees. And that's not 98 degrees in South Dakota. That's 98 degrees plus humidity in South Dakota.
Well, it was 98 degrees in South Dakota.
Plus humidity. So
it was hot and swampy.
Yes, there was swass and there was sweat and there was all kinds of sweat everywhere.
Good Lord. Yes, it was very... Clothes were stuck to places they shouldn't be stuck. And it was just...
that.
It was very uncomfortable by the time we made it back to the room. And to make it worse, you were getting in the air-conditioned car and then out of it, and then in it and then out of it. So we were pretty much sapped by the time we hit the hotel room. If we hadn't been so hungry, we would have probably just passed out and stayed in the room.
Probably. But we had to take a shower before we went to bed.
We did. We both got our shower in and we got to go eat. And when we went to eat, the whole story is on our Facebook page. If you like reading, it's a fairly good story. But on the menu, they had a WTF burger. And because I'm a child, that made me laugh. So I ordered that burger. Now, I did read what was on it. And what was supposed to be on it was the like deep fried jalapenos, and American cheese and onions, and that was pretty much
And there's supposed to be bacon jam on it too, but Corey didn't want the bacon jam.
There was supposed to be bacon jam on it, but I don't like bacon jam because that's disgusting. So I told him to hold that. So we got our meal. Everything looked fine.
Mine was fabulous, but it was so hot. Like I bit into it and there was like juice from the hamburger because they were really good, and it burned my lip.
So the WTF burger did live up to its name. When it showed up, I took a big bite out of it, not even thinking about it because I was hungry. And the whole top of that burger under the first bun was it was drowning in tartar sauce.
I think it was supposed to be like garlic aioli stuff.
It was tartar sauce, like actual, like it was covered in tartar sauce. And it's not like I dislike tartar sauce.
But a tartar sauce is meant for fish.
It's just, have you ever watched that show? Like what is it called? Is It a Cake?
Is It a Cake? The one where they take real food and make it look like a cake?
Yeah, and you imagine that. Like it looks like steak bites on your plate, and you take a bite of it, and it ends up being like a white cake. Like the confusion that happens at that point in your mouth and in your head. That's what it was. Like I literally in my head was like, what the. Like, it lived up to its name.
He didn't just say it in his head, just so you know. He said it out loud, too.
I did eat that burger. I did finish that burger. So, but yeah, it lived up to its name. It was the weirdest dining experience I've ever had because I would never think to not just put it on it like ketchup, but to like drown it like it was a
So
sauce.
It was tartar sauce, burger,
American
jalapenos,
cheese,
American cheese.
And onions.
And
it had nothing in
on a
that.
bun.
It was just wrong.
You could have just added the coleslaw to it, and then you'd have been.
It'd probably been better.
I don't know. So I'm a coleslaw snob.
Yes, she is.
I am. Like my favorite kind of coleslaw comes from KFC. So if your coleslaw is not like KFC,
then you don't like coleslaw.
No, I do like coleslaw because I buy the because I buy the coleslaw at the grocery store too. That's like.
You like sweet coleslaw.
Well, I just like KFC coleslaw.
So you don't like coleslaw?
I don't like vinegary tasting coleslaw.
You like sweet coleslaw. You like dessert with cabbage in it.
Dessert.
That's what it is. It's like cabbage dessert. It's a German dessert.
Their coleslaw was like cabbage with pepper and no flavor. I had it last year, so I didn't eat it this year because I remembered.
She's just picky. She could have had a tartar sauce burger, and she just chose not to.
No, instead, what did I have?
I don't know what you had, but it wasn't the WTF burger.
I'm thinking real hard what it was, but I don't remember. Whatever it was, I had them hold some sauce on it.
All right, let's get into what's sold next.
Oh my gosh, this is my
you're gonna make me
favorite
pick this
sale
one up.
ever. I don't know how to say it all, but
hold on. This is what it is. I might have to back up. It's a big like German dumps,
It's a steam engine
machine.
workshop. It's a steam engine with workshop.
Yes. So that's what it is.
It is made by Wilesco. It's a Wilesco D141 Workstat model steam engine workshop with box and instructions, and it has the little oil that you use to oil it. It also has little bricks that you catch on fire to make it steam.
Yep.
But I did not test it. I flat out put in there, I did not test it because...
We didn't want to put the fuel in it
Yep,
and then have to ship it after.
Yep. So I paid $20 for that. Corey pointed it out to me, and I did my typical hem and haw over it.
Now, we have bought like working model engines before that did really good, so we know to look out for that stuff. But looking it up, we weren't really expecting it to be that good.
Nope. But that sold. I paid $20 for it, and it sold for $279.99. The last one sold for $249.
Good job.
That was a good pickup.
All
I
right.
like the high dollar, kinda.
Yeah, see, now you just got to quit buying all the little crap.
The little crap, it also paid my bills too.
There you go. Next, we got a Harley shirt. This one, there's nothing it's just a tan Harley shirt.
That came from our original Harley buy. So it is, it's just a genuine motorcycle, Louisville, Kentucky, brown t-shirt, size large. Sold for $24.99.
All right, so Saturday we woke up still at the Chamberlain Hotel. We were going to hit Chamberlain and do all the garage sales there. And then we were going to continue the rest of the way to Wall because Chamberlain's kind of halfway point.
Yep.
So that
Because
was,
we weren't full. That's the only reason we're going
weren't
to
full.
continue on.
So that was the plan. That plan held up for about 2 hours because we started hitting the Chamberlain sales.
Yep.
And it did not take us long.
No, we ended up out in the, some of these garage sales, I'm telling you,
They're clear out
are
the
like
boonies.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Which I like those ones because the people just hitting the towns, they kind of ignore the outliers.
Can I make a comment about
No,
back to Friday for a second?
it's not allowed. We already passed Friday.
It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it anyway.
Okay,
so
fine.
we went to this one sale in Stickney. It was in a community building. And we went in there and I found a camera that's worth some money, whatever. And then these two people came in. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't think you should shame people.
I'm going to shame people because they boxed out.
They might be viewers.
That's okay. We went in there and this lady was on speed. She was racing everywhere to make sure she got to see everything and make sure to grab it.
Fine. I didn't have any issues with them. They were just very aggressive resellers. Mm-hmm.
Which we are not.
The kind you see come into a garage sale and they try to make sure they get to everything before anybody else does because they're afraid they're going to miss something. You got that kind of energy from them every time you saw them. And we saw them at 6 sales.
Yep.
So there was very much stay out of their way. They're coming through and they're going to hit everything. Cut. I don't want to say
pushy.
No, it wasn't. It was just a very aggressive, like they were afraid they were going to miss a deal. Mm-hmm. And we just kind of let them go and get their stuff, and then we came behind and picked the good stuff.
Yep.
So it was weird. I hate seeing resellers kind of act that way at garage sales because I think it gives us all a bad name.
Yep.
I don't like seeing greed turn someone into something like that.
And
Because that's kind of what it's just kind of greedy.
And that one kind of was just because of, I guess, watching what they were picking. So they had a whole box of electronics and they're like, well, we don't want all this because they had it priced all as one.
Well, that's fine. I might have done the same thing. I don't think I'd have bought the whole box, but...
I think I'm just butthurt because they sniped some stuff from us.
They did get some good stuff before us, but it's the typical stuff. It's the point and shoot cameras and the stuff that every reseller looks for, and that's fine because that's less and less what we're looking for nowadays. I will buy a point and shoot camera every single time I see one that's good.
Yep.
But that's not our core. We're looking for the stuff that most resellers will walk by because they look at the price that says $75 and they're like, who do you think you are, eBay? That's the stuff we love right now because it's literally...
Still say that!
Well, if I go to Compet and it's actually $60 on eBay, then yes. But if you see something that's marked $75, now we're much more likely to say, okay, why is that $75?
Yep, and we did.
And look it up. And like those golf clubs at $200, a year ago, we would have scoffed and walked away. There's no way I would have looked at a set of $200 golf clubs. But they sell for $4 and they sell fast.
Yep.
So
sorry,
we've definitely changed the way. Yeah, thanks for throwing me under the bus.
So anyway, so back to our story of going to garage sales outside of town. We hit this one last garage sale.
It was towards the last one in Chamberlain too.
There was two. There was that one and one more that we were supposed to hit.
So we were almost done with Chamberlain, getting ready to head the rest of the way to the wall.
Yep. And we met this nice little lady who, after we were looking through stuff and whatever, and they had totes sitting there, she was talking to Corey and told Corey that her husband had just passed away a few weeks ago. She didn't go into details on it.
Just a little older than us too. I think he was 54, and it was unexpected. It wasn't something they saw coming.
We had a nice conversation with her. I love chatting with people, so I don't have issues typically chatting with people.
But she was trying very hard to clean out and clear out the shops. And I don't know if they were in a situation where they had to move or what, but they had to get rid of stuff. Like she was talking about the next day they may be putting a bunch of stuff out by the curb and just everything's free. So
we picked up 5 totes. There was more, but I could not fit more than the 5 totes. And we even took one tote down to a bag and put it in an IKEA bag. 5 totes we walked away with vintage or whatever new old stock appliance parts.
Yep. Everything's pretty much in a bag or a box. They're all new sealed.
Yep.
And they're just appliance parts for washers and dryers and dishwashers, refrigerators, stoves, like you name it. We found a little bit of everything in there. We still haven't even begun to process it all. We just went through like 1.5 totes.
Yep. You did. Didn't you do that box? He did just a box. And last night while we were sitting there watching, all the fun stuff that we watch, I started sorting through a box. And if the stuff in this box sells, holy crap.
Yeah, there's a lot of really slow sell-through rate stuff in there. But for 5 totes, and it was all free, it's completely out of our normal what we would buy. Like, we wouldn't typically go buy that stuff. Although if the price was cheap enough, I probably would. But
she had $5
and we were going to pay it. And she was like, no, take those. Take them all.
Yep.
So we ended up taking the 5 totes, and that filled the car. Like, we were packed to the ceiling. I
could have maybe fit one more bag with the stuff out of another tote in a bag next to that.
Maybe.
Next to that nice TV that I made you buy.
Yeah. So we did. I mean, we were full. We didn't have much choice. We had to actually call it right there and not continue on the highway sale. We had to turn around and come home.
Yep.
Because if we'd have gone a whole town over, sure as the day is hot, we'd have found a great buy and not been able to get it.
That's what happened last year, because remember, we were most of the way full by the time, I think it was Dupree that we went to that had all that Dr. Pepper stuff.
Yep.
And they had brand new, in the box, never put together, Dr. Pepper bikes.
He had all kinds of Dr. Pepper stuff because he worked for the company.
Yep.
So he had a lot of stuff like bicycles and signs and like all kinds of Dr. Pepper stuff that was all brand new.
Yep.
And we couldn't fit any of it in a car. So we ended up having to leave it anyway. So we didn't want to have that situation again, and we were full, so we just came home. So that was our big sale trip. And
that was Saturday.
It went really well. I mean, Sunday we just came home and started sorting and recovering. We still have a full car. We haven't even unloaded.
I unloaded 1 tote and
I
one
took
box.
I took a box.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. The car.
Oh no, you brought the bag in, so the one bag.
Oh, I did bring a bag in.
But yeah, it's out of our normal stuff. So yesterday, like I said, as I was sitting there, Corey was out here with me for a little bit. He was going through stuff. He actually went through some stuff on Saturday when we got home, just to kind of get a gauge for what sells, what it was, what not. And
we still have the whole trunk is full of stuff that's like $200 to $400 comp stuff that sells fast.
Yep.
And we just haven't even had the time or the space to take it out of the car. So when we actually do get time to unload the car, it's going to be like a treasure hunt all over again. Because there's some really good stuff in there, and it's just buried. All right, so we do still have pack today. So what do we got next that's sold?
We sold a GPS antenna for a Lowrance. It's a Lowrance GPS antenna, LGC-3000. It's the only one that was listed on there.
This came out of a box. We were actually talking about this thing on Reseller Therapy. I was testing. We bought a box for $20.
Yep.
That had a GPS, like a depth finder in it.
2 depth finders.
It ended up having 2 depth finders in the box, plus a bunch of accessories and transducers and this. So our $20 just in this piece, we already sold one of the
we already sold one of the depth finders for $90. Then this one, and it sold for $138.99.
Yep. So low rent.
And we paid $20.
Lowrance is a good brand.
Yep, we paid $20 for the whole entire box. Can you say that word?
Is it Pfaltzgraff?
It is Pfaltzgraff.
It's a milk crate, like a U.S. themed.
It is. Crate. It's a 2010 cool. Pfaltzgraff Pfaltzgraff Stars and Stripes limited edition of 1200 2010 ceramic milk jar.
Would you actually put milk in it?
No, it's just for decoration. I would say it's just for decoration.
Well, it's got a sealed lid. Like, it seals.
Careful, you're going to chip it.
Nah. It says milk. I would put milk in it.
I would not put milk in it
4th
because
of
nobody
July
drinks
milk.
out of milk. So anyways, that one sold for $23 and no cents.
All right.
I was going to say
No cents.
$23.99, but it was $23 and no cents.
So that's it. That's all we got for that. We do have, if you're interested, we have a Christmas in July sale coming up on the dollar auction. And it's going to be a pretty large sale. It's a 2-day sale. We're going to start at 2 o'clock both days.
Hold up. There's lots of people participating, so
Yes,
it's not
not
just
just
us
us.
running.
The dollarauction.com is going to run the 4th of July, or
The
the
Christmas in July
Christmas in July, not on the 4th. It's on the 11th and 12th.
dollar train.
Yep. So it's going to start, each day it's going to start at 2 o'clock. Unless somebody jumps in before 2 o'clock. You're welcome to jump in anytime you want before 2. But it starts, our shows will start at 2 o'clock. And then every hour we'll switch to a new person all the way till 9 o'clock. And if more people fill in after that, we'll just keep pushing the audience forward. So they're right now in the normal scheduled train. There's 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, and anytime before or after those time slots, because we'll have 2 o'clock will run.
Yep.
I think 4 o'clock.
I have no clue.
It might be an inked picker. Well, every other hour it'll be us, inked picker, Steve and Donna from Happy Heart, and Jess and Zena from Resell to Ride. And then anybody that wants to fill in around us, it's kind of first come, first serve. Jump in, grab an hour spot, and sell anything Christmas related, or come join us and buy anything Christmas related.
I'm looking real quick. So it's us at 2. Oh, we have a new one in there already. Zelda's Finds filled in at 3.
3.
Resell to Ride is at 4. This is on the 11th. Alicia Inked Picker is at 6. And Happy Heart Treasures is at 8. And then on the 12th, it's us at 2. Zelda's Finds filled in at 3 again. Resell to Ride at 4. Alicia is not on the second day, but Happy Heart Treasures is on at 8 o'clock on the second day.
Yep. So there's lots of spots open if you'd like to jump in and you've got some Christmas stuff you want to get moved. The Christmas in July sale will be a 2-day thing, and it'll run pretty much 2 to 10. And if it all fills up and you want to jump in before 2 o'clock or after that 9, 10 o'clock spot, you're more than welcome to. So
Yep. And maybe, we just have to see how it goes. We might be having one on Friday.
this Friday,
Yep. We got to get rid of some stuff.
we do. We have so much stuff. We've
I had to build a new shelf. That's one thing we didn't talk about. I had to build a new shelf to put, because we did go to a sale this week.
Well, we went to a sale locally and we ended
Yep.
up buying a bunch of painted ponies.
Yep. We found one, there was like 3 really good ones in there.
Yep.
And so we bought the whole lot. And so I had to find a spot for those. And so we built this little metal wooden shelf
Which we
or
also
whatever.
got at a garage sale a long
No,
time
I got
ago.
that on Marketplace.
Did you?
Yeah, remember we drove all the way out to somebody's country
Oh,
house
that's
to get
right.
those?
Yeah. And it wasn't worth it because they're just cheap little shelves.
They are cheap
but
shelves. But yeah, so we have some stuff we have to get rid of
They had
to
the
make
goats.
room. They did have the random goats that were walking around, not caged, not nothing. So
Yep. They had
look
fun
at you
goats.
with your memory. You're not old.
Ooh, those once-a-days are working.
Jesus Christ.
All
They're
right.
not for mental.
Well, maybe I should
They're
look
for
into
body,
something for
so-
mental. Well, then they're not working. Because I'm falling apart from here down. All right, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys next week.
Hasta la vista, baby.